what's going on YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here with POPXP Nile Scala, and you're joining the POPXP review crew. Tonight we've got Blevins with us and Frank Amazing, and we're going to be talking about Strange Academy #1. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Dude, doing great. Psyched. This has been months in the making.
Definitely. And you're the one that put us onto this. You said, hey, guys, you got to check out the new book from Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos, colors by Edgar Delgado. And you said, dude, this book is amazing. Marvel.
I want to say it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. Frank, what was your take when your first impressions of the book?
You know, it brings the Academy to a new light, you know, with the different characters that you'll find out, especially from this first episode. Some new characters, but also some others that are in the Marvel universe and that you really don't think about coming into play.
Exactly. And some new characters, some new character designs. The concept's really great. And Brian, man, how did you even discover this that made you bring it right over to us?
Well, you know, first of all, like I'm a huge Humberto Ramos fan. Like maybe too much of a Humberto Ramos fan, but I'm a huge Humberto Ramos fan. And when I heard that he was on a new book and it was called Strange Academy, I was like, that's kind of weird. And then I looked and saw that it was written by Scotty Young, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like you got Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos in the same book. Mind blown. And I was like, surely this thing is going to disappoint. And when I read it, it could not be further from the truth.
Yeah. And what was your thought on the story?
Oh, incredible. In fact, it was so incredible and such like a streamlined idea. I have no clue why this hasn't been done before. I mean, you know, for decades, I mean, like literally for like 70 years, you know, we've had the Xavier School of you know, gifted students, you know, which was home to the X-Men and the mutants, you know, like why wouldn't you? It just makes sense. Why wouldn't you have a school for kids of the mystic arts, you know, like a Marvel Hogwarts, if you were, you know?
Exactly. You know, taking some of the magicians in, you know, under Doctor Strange, Dr. Voodoo. It was definitely a really cool concept that they put together, and then how they tied that in with everything. I mean, some of the new characters, some of the new characters, existing characters that are in the book. I mean, you have Emily Bright, who's, you know, Emily Bright has been gifted with immense magical power that she's had since she was a baby. She's even been able to hold death itself at bay. However, Emily's formidable abilities have also made her a target. Emily has rolled in the Strange Academy to understand her gifts, but also her own protection. So we're going to really get to know Emily in this book.
Yeah, she's the focus. She's the focus. She's the main story. There, everything else is also important, but she's the main heart and soul of the story, from what I can tell from the first issue.
Yeah, it was a good origin. Brief origin about Emily, you know, and it also gives you a good taste of some of the other origins of the new characters as well. Little brief, but you know, excited to see where they go with these.
Yeah, I think they did a good job kind of introducing the characters. I mean, another character here, and we'll go through them. You know, we've got Shaylee Moon Petal, a bright and exuberant student. Shaylee hails from Otherworld, and she loves to make new friends. Shaylee is a rare human and a fairy hybrid, which has caused her family to make sacrifices in order to allow Shaylee to remain with her own kind. And I like this character because it kind of brings in that, like, I think we're going to have that best friend appeal, some that's going to be by Emily's side through some thick and thin stuff as the issues go on.
You get that fantasy aspect. It brings that fantasy aspect of magic to the, you know, like there's so many different types of magic. Like, of course, there's voodoo, there's just magic and mysticism. Then you have alchemy, and you know all these other different, you know, different sections of magic. And you know, you get the fairy world, like you get the fantasy magic land with her. I mean, she's a great character. Needs some friends, if you know.
Yeah, definitely needs some friends. Needs some friends. You know, what's a character that I really like that's coming up is in the book is Doyle.
Oh God, Doyle's going to be the breakout star of this series.
And his character design is unbelievable.
Yeah. 100%. Doyle Dormammu.
Right.
Yeah.
Son
Came to
of,
bargain. Came to bargain.
Yeah, Doyle is the illegitimate son of Doctor Strange's arch enemy, the Dread Dormammu. The family resemblance is uncanny, and Doyle clearly takes after his father in terms of power. But whose example will Doyle ultimately follow? Strange's or Dormammu's?
Dormammu.
yeah.
Dormammu's.
You know, and the drawing of him is like you could see either way, like Scotty Young drawing him, but also Umberto Ramos, and like it would almost like be very similar.
It's amalgamation of both.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah, the style of this, and we'll get into that. I mean, is incredible. And then we can't forget the twins. You know, we got Eirik and Alvi. You know, hailing from Asgard,
little Asgardian twins.
Asgardian twin brothers. Eirik and Alvi are magical, gifted, but they are far removed from the inner circle of the mighty Thor. And the warriors of 3. On Asgard, Eirik and Alvi may simply be among the crowd of gods, but on Earth they will be able to forge their own legends.
Yeah, just one of them's got a mighty man bun.
He does have a mighty man bun.
But you know,
the mighty man bun and beardette.
You know, those seem to be kind of the top 5, but there are, you know, other ones that they kind of introduced a little bit more. You know, which was very interesting. Like, I'm really excited about Guslog, who's the frost giant.
Right.
Yes.
But brought by Loki personally.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loki's just like, hey, what's up, dudes?
Yeah.
I'm just going to create this big hole and this frost giant comes through.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
you know,
incredible.
like, you know, we're going to get into this. The little Asgardian twins, like they flipped out on the frost giant. They flipped out on Dormammu's kid Doyle. But they didn't flip out on Loki. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I think Guslog, I like the character. I think, you know, she comes in. It's just like this monster frost. It's like, hey guys, what's up? You know,
hasn't said anything. It hasn't said anything yet.
No, just happy.
Yeah, it's like where does she sit? You know, anywhere she wants.
Yep. And then we see Zoe Lavu in the Marvel universe. You know, she's a voodoo priestess who trained Dr. Voodoo and fought Dr. Strange. Zoe Lavu seems to have some of her great-great-grandmother's talents, but we hope she won't try and kill Stephen Strange as many times. So we'll see how her story characters develops, because it looks like she's now becoming more of a mentor to the students. And that's what's neat about this so far. Like, once you read through it, you kind of see like certain characters are now mentors. You know, or you're going to see that development that they're going to be the mentors, and they're not necessarily going to be, you know, the typical superhero or super villain. So I can't wait for issue 2, guys. And then, you know, we've got Calvin Morse, who's, you know, in
I like Calvin. You know, his little story, and you know, he's so excited about everything. You know, he comes from. You know, he was in a foster home, so he's just excited about everything.
He's a total nerd, man. He's super
right. He's definitely a fanboy for sure. He's like, oh my god, we get to eat whatever we want. Yes,
but he has like
it's Blevins
jacket.
It is Blevins,
super fanboy Blevins.
It is a Blevins.
It looks like Blevins.
But he has like a jacket that has like super powers.
Well, yeah, he's an enchanted leather jacket.
Yeah.
And he got
enchanted members only jacket.
Yes. Yes. And don't forget, we've got Desi.
Yeah,
you know,
Desi.
Although her real name is Despair, she prefers to go by Desi when addressed by her fellow students. Desi is a demon from Limbo who has the gift and burden to see things as they truly are. She can see all her fellow students' secrets, but will she share what she knows?
Gossip Queen! Because that's her curse. She never tells.
Never tells.
She never tells.
Now, this character actually kind of threw me off guard because I'm reading through, and all of a sudden you just see this like ice-looking creature, ice crystal-looking creature with swim trunks on.
Yeah,
top.
And and he just comes out of nowhere. He just comes out of nowhere, just like a cannonball. He's like, "Hey, welcome to school, man!"
Cannonball,
cannonball.
He's like the surfer dude of the swamp.
Yeah, and then you know, we see Jermaine in here. but we don't know too much about him yet.
Nope.
So I hopefully issue 2 will elaborate more on him. We do know he has some type of special connections with animals, but it hasn't been fully elaborated on yet. So
well, he pulled the power of the animals, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a special pulls the power. He just said he has a special connection with animals. We got to see how that develops because there's more to his character. But yeah, I mean, I think they've got a great lineup. I think the characters are fun. They're playful. I like this. I don't know if you guys got this. I mean, we're 90s comic book fans, right? I mean, I kind of went back to like when I was reading books and really just fell in love with the story and like truly escaped in it and had a good time.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. That was cool. And I think if with Marvel right now, I think if they keep to that and get these great writers and artists who want to write, give them these opportunities. I mean, if they're going to start producing stuff like this, I mean, am I going to be starting to pull a lot of Marvel comics every week? I might be.
Yeah, it was definitely different and like, I mean, absolutely, I approve. 2 thumbs up. I mean, it took it back to the simpler life of comics and gave us a great story, a great streamlined theme, introduced some incredibly well thought out characters. I mean, it's what we haven't seen in Marvel in decades. It's definitely what we were missing. It's kind of like, you wait all this time, reading, what isn't the best of stories, and then you get this story that's even just above average or incredible, and I mean it blows your mind because you're fiending for it. You want it.
Yeah, and now, let's take a look. Let's look at the art here of Humberto Ramos. I mean, this cover's gorgeous. I mean, it displays all of the characters beautifully, and I mean, Edgar Delgado's colors are insane. The marriage here on this book, we've talked about this, and we hope that this is going to be one of those series where we don't get into like great stories. We're going through our sequential books, and then all of a sudden the writer changes or the artist changes or something changes. Like this is perfect chemistry right now. Absolutely.
And one of the main things that was said, when we did have Humberto on the show, is that he said that this is our baby and we will remain the creative team. So I'm all in.
Yeah. I hope that's the case. But I mean, the
Marvel may have rope-a-doped them into just, creating this amazing license and then just snatch it away from them
let's keep our fingers crossed it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, look at the panels in this book. I mean, first and foremost, the story is fantastic. You're going to love it. And the artwork is incredible.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where we're getting that origin story of Emily.
You're talking first, 4-6 pages, is just about Emily and what she's going through. And then the introduction into, kind of the Strange Academy.
Yep.
Yeah. Can we go back to the very first panel? I just want to throw something out there. So like, it doesn't tell a lot about what's going on. But hey, look, I'm Emily Bright, I'm a magician, sorceress, my family doesn't really know. So who's that other girl in that middle panel? I mean, who is the other kid?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's so random that there's another kid in there and she doesn't make another appearance in any of the other,
well, we've got 2 things there, either they're just giving us a snapshot of her past where she may have just had this one-shot character over, or this may be someone that's going to come down the road because she obviously knows what she can do.
And the kid may, what I'm saying, that kid may have like flipped out and told the parents or, done something like that. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I don't know where that kid came from, and they never mentioned what her name was.
Or Emily's parents took care of her.
Yeah,
and maybe that's secret.
And maybe that's what the tree was like. We know what you did. We know what you took. Like maybe that wasn't talking about, fending off death or taking, life from one thing to grow the flowers, like what was mentioned in that scene. Like maybe it has something to do with that.
Right.
What if Scotty Young just put the main secret right there in plain sight?
Wow. And you just uncovered it.
Only
time will tell.
I know we talk about Umberto Ramos and Scotty Young, but look at the lettering in regards to this.
Oh my gosh.
Just the difference between writing, a letter to the Strange Academy compared to, the word bubbles and everything like that.
Yeah.
And what I love is, especially when we get later in and we're introducing the characters, how meticulous writing their speech bubbles is. Mm-hmm. It's different based upon each character, which is really cool. The lettering is very different when the twins speak compared to Emily versus everyone else who has those little it's their little nuances of how they speak, which is really cool.
Well, look at what they did right here with the tree.
I
mean, they did the same thing right there. So what's awesome, like what you're saying, is they're giving you like a visual of them. Like it's actually giving, like when I read that, it's like I hear her, okay, that was crazy, and obviously the tree didn't like it at all. Then I've got like, foolish child, you will pay for what you have taken. Like that's what's playing in my head when I see this, just like,
and
like a demonic voice almost from that tree.
God, and that tree looks so much like Scotty Young's Groot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, man, again, dude, like those two are a match made in heaven for us, for anybody who's a comic book lover,
Well, and the other is, a lot of people, go towards Scotty and his artwork, the little kids, his covers and everything like that. But, he does have, this history of being a writer. And, this kind of continues along the path of everything else that he's written on,
Absolutely.
I mean, granted, I'm sure everyone kind of loves even the Strange Academy, cover that he did. So, but, do want to put that out there.
Oh, definitely. But I mean, and we got like kind of our classic, all right, she's going off, the mentor has come, saved her from the situation in the nick of time. It's explained to the family where she's going, where she's heading, and now they're off, and I love how this is in. And do you guys notice something in the third panel
about the door?
No, about Scotty Young right here.
Oh, the third. No, I did not notice that.
Yes, that's Scotty Young right there.
Nice
little insert there. But I love how they're in New Orleans, Bourbon Street, and that takes them, into the area, and then you just see this overgrown, hedged fence, and boom, no one knows this is here. Like right there on Bourbon Street, and boom, you've got Strange Academy, which is just incredible.
And when they said where they're located, I'm like, that makes total sense. Having them in New Orleans, where there is that magic, that old magic comes into place. It's like the epicenter where it should be, not in New York, not anywhere else, but New Orleans.
Good old Nolans. Good old Nolans.
And I mean, and on top of that, I mean, what's cool too is like they don't drag in the first issue. They go like right into it. Like, okay, new students here. Let's see what's going on, because pretty much like semester's starting, right? And I mean, they jump right in. I mean, Shaylee, Moon Petal flies right in, instantly introduces herself. The Asgardian twins, pop in.
Next panel,
Yep. We've got oops, sorry, I went by too fast. They go in, and then we've got obviously I'm always afraid I'm going to say this wrong. Gooslaw in, which is awesome, because these guys are like ready to go. But that's the thing. It's like, hey guys, this is neutral. You all are gifted with something. You're all special. You're not here to fight one another. You're all here to learn together. So it's kind of cool because these characters come from conflicting worlds, right? But
battling worlds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yet here they're neutral. Like, are they? Is this a way to like bring all of these different worlds and species, civilizations together? But like what is, to me? I'm like, what's the point of the academy?
Yeah. And if you notice in the little panel over here, something happened between Loki and Zelma.
Oh yeah, little bounce, chicka wow wow, chicka chicka wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man,
Doyle
looks awesome there.
That's great. It's kind of like I think it's going to be our antagonist. It'll definitely be cool to see how he develops into this.
God, I'd love to see how I'd love to see how they're going to bring him into the actual Marvel universe, like outside of the Strange Academy. Like whenever he graduates or whatever happens. And I'm super excited to see what happens.
Yes. I just freaking love the artwork in this, man.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, I mean,
and the detail too.
Yeah.
I've seen some other comics when you get into the pages and it's like, wow, like, there you could see like the lines too much, and it's like kind of just threw it together. But they definitely took their time and had the detail with their entire team on everything.
Yep. And then we got Toth doing that splash. So good. But I mean, I enjoyed this book so much. Visually, it's so eye appealing and catching. For me, I found I would actually have to go back and like reread a couple times because I just kept scanning through the panels because of the detail, the character design, the colors. I mean, it's just a beautiful book, beautifully written and beautifully drawn, and the colors are phenomenal.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite panels too. Like you have Desi that's just like hey, look, I know your secret. Like, and I'm not going to tell anybody because it's my burden.
Yeah.
But don't pretend that you're innocent because I know.
Yeah. So she's got like a little Breakfast Club look going.
Yeah, little Ali Sheedy.
Yes. That's crazy though.
Yeah, man,
I'll never tell. It's my burden.
Yeah. Great.
Not only that, but when we get, right here.
The teachers.
Yeah, here's all the teachers. And, like one of the things that I was actually surprised about, because it seems like Marvel kind of separates X-Men from everyone else. And here you have Scarlet Witch, who like plays a big role. And
what about Nico?
Well.
What about Nico, one of the runaways?
Nico.
Right.
I mean, like she had to learn her. Yeah, she had to learn her stuff on his own. I'll be honest with you, Shaman really surprised me. Like I don't think that's a. I mean, I'm eager to see what's going to happen, but I mean, you got the ancient one, you got Brother Voodoo or Doctor Voodoo. They had one of Doctor Strange's biggest deals is the mindless one. So you can see them doing throughout the book. You can see them doing mindless tasks, but then they have one who's the mindful one, which maybe has all the knowledge, and I mean Hellstrom, dude, how awesome is Hellstrom, man? I'm eager to see what happens there.
Well, I'll be honest, man. I definitely see Shaman being a really good pick as one of the mentors, instructors. Because I mean, if you know what a shaman does, I mean, they're very spiritual. They're guiding.
Yeah, what I'm saying just came out of nowhere, though, is what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It's off to the side.
I could see all these people, but Shaman just was like, it's like, hey, what's up with this?
I know. They definitely did their research of like, here is all, I mean, in depth. It wasn't like, okay, we'll start with Doctor Strange and then kind of work our way and then kind of stop. They went deep, and picked a whole bunch. And, I mean, this has to be just the beginning. There's going to be some other people that they pull out, based upon it. So make sure you do your application for Strange Academy too.
Make sure you fill it out. I got declined.
I'm waiting with
answer the
fingers
questions.
crossed. I'm waiting with fingers crossed. But yeah, guys, I mean, definitely a great book. I'm looking forward to it. Issue 2 is going to be coming out in the next couple weeks. It has been long awaited, as you know. We've been
Dude, quite possibly one of the greatest cliffhangers.
Yes,
in comics right now.
I mean, we've been talking about it on our show. I think everyone's like, we're talking about new books, this and that, and this is always one we bring up. There's some great books coming out, but we keep coming back to this because, like you said, Mr. Blevins, that's one hell of a cliffhanger we're in.
Dude, it's insane.
And we're about to get issue 2. So we at the POPXP and the POPXP review crew want to let you know that we recommend this book, and we hope you guys check it out and let us know what you think down in the comments below.
We give it a 5 out of 5 baby Blevinses.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 baby Blevinses. Boop, 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 boop.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the POPXP and over on Instagram at the POPXP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.